General Hospital spoilers for the next 3 weeks, May 5 to May 23, reveal that Willow Corinthos will double down on Drew Kane. Fans will also see some Nurses Ball revelations, and Dante Falconieri will spill to Sonny Corinthos as well. The week of May 5 to 9 will deliver a heroic moment for Cody Bell, so he might come to Rocco Falconieri's rescue at the bonfire. Danny Morgan will freak out when he can't wake Rocco up, but Cody may pitch in since he's about to stumble across a risky ordeal. Lulu Spencer will express how thankful she is to someone later, so she may let Cody know she appreciates him stepping up for her son. Rocco will be oak following the spiked punch he drank, but he's going to get some tough love following all the chaos. The same goes for Danny, who'll face Jason's lecture and perhaps get grounded until further notice. There are signs that Giovanni Gio Palmieri might land in some trouble with the law in the midst of all the bonfire mayhem. That could pose a threat to Gio's musical studies and leave Lois Cirillo flipping out. Dante will have some angry meltdowns in the midst of all the drama ahead, so Lulu may have to calm him down. Brooklyn Quartermain will also get some news that leaves her confused, so she might catch Lois in a lie. Lois wasn't honest about the whole adoption agency situation, so that could come back to bite her. Once Jocelyn Jacks sabotages Emma Scorpio Drake's research assistant chances, she'll have to step up her game to impress Professor Henry Hank Dalton and hopefully take Emma's place as the frontrunner. Jack Brennan will meet with Jocelyn and Vaughn to spill a few more details of what this mission's going to entail, while Kristina Corinthos Davis tries to make peace with Alexis Davis. Dante will confide in Sonny following Rocco's drunken beach incident. Sonny is still recovering from his surgery, but he'll certainly want to be there for Dante. Brad Cooper will also make a major life change that could involve quitting GH, so we'll see if Selena Wu welcomes him back to working for her soon enough. Since Drew will get some significant information related to his drugging case, he'll try to use it to his advantage. Drew may get stuck on the idea that Tracy Quartermain is responsible for his cheating setup, so Nina Reeves and Portia Robinson may hope they're in the clear. That said, Nina will be bummed over Willow doubling down on her love for Drew and commitment to him, despite the erupting scandal. While Willow and Sasha Gilmore Corbin have a heated confrontation, Lulu will be off quizzing Ned Quartermain. Lulu will presumably want to discuss Ned's experience with adopting Leo Quartermain for the story she's working on, but Brooklyn may flip out over the interview depending on what Lulu asks. Ned doesn't know about Brooklyn's teenage pregnancy or adoption, so she'd like to keep it that way. During the week of May 12 to 16, Lois should be stressed to the max as she tries to put out some fires and keep the truth about Gio's parentage under wraps. As for Kai Taylor, the outcome of his dangerous procedure may not be what he hoped for. Trina Robinson may have to support Kai if he suffers some paralysis due to the risk he took. Back with Portia and Nina, they may deal with some anxiety if Drew starts getting too close to the truth. The more Drew digs, the more puzzle pieces could come together and point in the direction of the real scheming culprits. Nina and Portia may have to make some predictions about how they'll handle things if Drew learns too much. The week of May 19 to 23 will bring the Nurses Ball red carpet along with the main event. There will be some incredible performances and some big reveals, so fans will definitely want to tune in. It looks like Cody and Molly Lansing Davis will be mistaken for a romantic duo on this epic night to remember, so that could bring some awkward moments with reporters. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, Messy Syrup. It's me, Abby, here. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Keep watching, so let's dive into today's video. General Hospital spoilers reveal a preview video has been released for the week of May 5, 2025. It shows Rocco Falconieri isn't waking up and is in desperate need of medical attention. Tracy Quartermain angrily confronts Lois Cirillo. Plus, Kristina Corinthos Davis gets a serious reality check. Keep reading, and let's talk about what is coming up in the ABC soap opera. Kristina Corinthos Davis reality check. Let's start off with Kristina, who sits down to open up with Lucky Spencer. Kristina talks to him about how Alexis Davis tried to have her committed. GH fans know that Alexis was just trying to protect her daughter after her horrendous move on Rick Lansing and Elizabeth Liz Baldwin. Of course, Kristina's target was Ava Jerome. While Rick and Liz are okay, there is still fallout from that crash. When Kristina vents about her mother trying to have her committed, Lucky gives her a reality check. Over at the hospital, Drew asks a doctor if he knows who drugged him. It's hard to tell from the preview video angle, but it might be Lucas Jonas. Of course, Lucas wasn't involved, but Brad Cooper was, with Drew knowing he was drugged and turning to Max Scorpio. It won't take long before Portia Robinson and Nina Reeves get busted. In fact, Willow Tate Corinthos tells her mother, "We both know who did it." General Hospital spoilers reveal that fans will also see Lois interrupt Tracy and Brooklyn Quartermain. Tracy screams that BLQ doesn't know where her son is, but Lois does. Lois stands in the corner, and her eyes are narrowed. While Tracy and Lois are ready to go to war, what does that mean for BLQ and her son? Also, a man's voice says that Rocco needs to get to a hospital immediately. It sounds like it could be Cody Bell. It was stated that Cody comes across a dangerous situation, which very well might be Rocco's medical emergency. We know that Rocco is going to survive, but there could be unforeseen consequences. For one thing, Rocco is a minor, and could there be a reason why he passed out? Perhaps an unknown medical condition? That could definitely raise the stakes, so stay tuned. Which storyline are you looking forward to seeing the most during the week of May 5, 2025? General Hospital spoilers indicate the week of May 5 to 9 will be an explosive one, as many key storylines continue to press forward as Sweeps Month unfolds. The ABC soap's weekly preview was just released, and one major arc that will take center stage is Drew Kane's recent drugging debacle. Nina Reeves came up with a foolproof plan to finally rid Drew from Willow Tate Corinthos' life. In fact, Nana recruited fellow Drew hater, Portia Robinson, to help. Both ladies felt the scheme would finally help them get the better of Drew. Portia summoned Brad Cooper to get her a dose of ketamine, while Nina hired an escort, Jacinda, to carry out the plan. The idea was for Jacinda to drop the ketamine drug in Drew's drink, lure him back to his home, and be there for when Willow returned to Port Charles from her visit with Michael Corinthos in Germany. In some ways, the plan worked a little too well. Jacinda dropped the drug in Drew's drink at the bar when the server wasn't looking, introduced herself to the congressman shortly after, and the two painted the town red, hitting the Savoy and making a spectacle of themselves in the process. Of course, in this day and age, no one can do anything without someone getting it on camera. When Drew suggested body shots, placing Jacinda on the Savoy's bar and slurping tequila from her stomach, everyone pulled out their phone, including investigative journalist Lulu Spencer. The video went viral on social media, hit the local paper, and Willow returned home to see a half-naked woman in her bed with her beau, freaking out completely. For a split second, it felt like Nana and Portia's plan was a success. Unfortunately, Drew hopped on damage control real fast and convinced Willow to come with him to the hospital so he could get blood work done. After all, he did reason that he's never had an issue with alcohol or drugs, noting this was completely out of character. He also swore up and down that he had been set up, and fans could tell fast that Willow was opening a door to forgiving him. After Isaiah Gannon revealed there was ketamine in Drew's system at the hospital during the Friday, May 2 episode, Drew somehow successfully convinced Willow he had been drugged by someone and set up. While a tad wary, she instantly forgave him. GA's preview video for the week of May 5 to 9 shows Drew at the hospital with an unknown man. As he states, "You know who drugged me last night?" Meanwhile, as the scenes progress, one is shown with Willow and a nervous-looking Nina, as the daughter tells her mom angrily, "You and I both know who did it." Drew has an inkling that Tracy Quartermain is behind this all, and while his hunch is wrong, it's not that off base. Drugging anyone to make them look bad is a classic scheme from the Quartermain playbook. While Nina looks concerned by Willow's declaration, the young woman will likely accuse Tracy. Still, what if Drew is talking to Brad in that first clip? The lab technician was the one who grabbed the dose of ketamine, as per Portia's instructions. Brad also hates being under the co-chief of staff's thumb, so he might be looking for a way out. Brad is set to make a life-changing decision during the Thursday, May 8 episode, so perhaps striking a deal with Drew to throw Portia under the bus could lead the cutthroat congressman to the truth. Will Drew run to Willow with what he knows, or will he keep it to himself? General Hospital spoilers suggest that once Drew finds out that Portia and possibly Nina are behind this scheme, he may decide to use this piece of information to blackmail his future mother-in-law. He may also warn her to back off, or else. Like a whole lot of us, Finola Hughes is in mourning today. The General Hospital Daytime Emmy winner took to Instagram to say that she was so very sorry to hear about the passing of Mike Peters of The Alarm. Same. The charismatic lead vocalist for the new wave band, which achieved its greatest success in the 1980s with hits like 68 Guns and my personal favorite, Rain in the Summertime, passed away on April 29 at just 66 years old of chronic lymphocytic leukemia. Peters, in Hughes' estimation, was a truly wonderful person, kind and giving, who fought hard and cared for others traveling on the same road, a tireless advocate for blood cancer survivors. The actress' time with the pop star was, in a word, special. "We once spent a beautiful day with him and his wife in North Wales many years ago talking about the future," she said. "He lived life well. He made people happy with his music." That he did. Check Peters and his bandmates in action below. In conclusion, Anna's portrayer extended my heartfelt condolences to his wife, Jules, and his sons, Dylan and Evan. Hard to bounce back from a somber note like that. Maybe pay your respects to the soap vets that we've lost already this year via the below in memoriam photo gallery. Oh, kids, you can't take your eyes off of them for a minute, can you? The May 2 episode of General Hospital ended in disaster, with young Rocco having drunk so much of the spiked punch at the PCU beach party that he and Danny crashed that he was left lying unconscious in the sand. But does Dante and Lulu's son actually die? The short answer is no, although part of him may wish that he had. Spoilers that ABC released for the week ahead reveal that by Tuesday, Rocco is beginning his apology tour. We have a hunch that it will be a long one too, because Dad is ticked, so ticked that Lois is left pleading with him to take a breath. We might go so far as to recommend that he take two. Later in the week, Jason delivers some tough love. Anyone else suspect that that will be to his and late former wife, Sam's son Danny? Maybe the former med student will regale the teenager with the story of how he was on his way to following in Alan and Monica's footsteps when half-brother AJ drove drunk and landed them in the accident that scrambled Jason's brain and turned him into a stone-cold hitman. While you're here, check out the below photo gallery of soap's most impactful on-screen deaths. Lives are about to change in this week's General Hospital spoilers. Lucky tries to get Kristina to see things from a different perspective. Drew wants answers as Willow thinks she already knows the truth. Tracy confronts Lois, and Rocco's life hangs in the balance. Still reeling from Alexa's betrayal, Kristina fills Lucky in on the latest. "My mother's trying to have me committed," she reveals. However, seeing things from Alexa's point of view, Lucky thinks he understands why she considered such a drastic option. Maybe she wasn't completely wrong, he suggests. Would Kristina consider committing herself if it keeps her out of prison for attempted murder? Horrified by his actions at the Savoy, Drew was relieved when tests showed he had ketamine in his system, which explains everything. Well, almost everything. "You know who drugged me last night?" he asks someone in the hospital. Drew has made plenty of enemies in Port Charles who would love nothing more than to see him take a big fall, but Willow seems to think she's got it all figured out. "You and I both know who did it," she tells Nina. Now that Tracy knows the truth about Brooklyn giving up her baby for adoption back when she was a teenager, she wants to help set things right. Brooklyn doesn't know where her son is, Tracy says to Lois. "You do. How much longer can Lois keep the truth about Gio from coming out?" At the beach, Rocco has passed out in the sand after drinking too much during the college party. As he's found unconscious, they're unable to wake him up. "We need to get him to the hospital now," someone insists urgently. "Will Dante and Lulu's son be okay?" I think I speak for everyone when I say that jovial love stole our hearts the moment she walked into General Hospital as Violet Finn, the daughter of Dr. Hamilton Finn and Hayden Barnes. That, if you can recall, was in 2019. These days, even though there are no more GA scripts to read and master, and no more quirky comments to unleash, the actress is keeping busy in other small ways. Young star jovial love knows how to celebrate a win, no matter how little it may seem to anyone. The actress recently took to Instagram to share a series of photos of herself set to Working Girl by Dolly Parton. While there was no direct clue as to what role this working girl has booked for herself, she did hint at a fun national commercial starring yours truly. This means that we could likely see her face on our screens in between enjoying our favorite television shows. The star joined General Hospital in 2019, before exiting it in October 2024 when a story arc caused her character to move away from Port Charles. While we don't know when jovial love might be making GH a return, or even if she will, she has continued to grow her repertoire by starring in such projects as FBI, International, and The Winchesters. However, she does not limit herself to starring in just TV shows, since she has managed to rack up quite a few movies under her belt. These include We Have a Ghost, Renfield, and Five Nights at Freddy's. The rising star is also not a stranger to commercials, as one of her first gigs is a 2018 Citibank commercial. In the ad, she and her brother, Gabriel, are shown clinging to their real-life father's legs. Their father is playing the part of a monster stomping around their homes. Recalling the experience in a Facebook post, she said, "Gabriel and I laughed so much that day. My neck got sore from having to look up so much. My dad could barely walk the next day. Jovial love is just getting started, and we can't wait to keep up with her." Danny and Rocco soon arrived at the beachfront bonfire. Rocco looked pensive, but Danny told him that they just needed to blend and grabbed 2 drinks to help them do so. "You don't have to drink it. Just hold it. Everybody has a cup in their hands. This is how we blend," Danny cheerfully said before they began talking to 2 girls. Rocco stood off to the side while Danny made a new friend who wanted to play volleyball. Emma and Gio made their way to the bonfire with Jocelyn not far behind. Emma spotted Vaughn approaching them in a swimsuit and immediately asked who this man was. He told the kids he was just there for his daily cold water swim. He suggested that Emma try it, so she asked Gio to go with her, even though they didn't have swimsuits. Emma checked that her flash drive was still in her shorts pocket before she and Gio stripped down to their underwear and cold plunged into the lake. Joss took the opportunity to grab it as soon as nobody was looking. However, Jocelyn and Vaughn were stuck when Joss wanted to replace the corrupted flash drive while Emma wanted to put her shorts back on. As Vaughn and Joss argued about how to get the flash drive back to Emma, Jocelyn turned around to see Danny standing there. Jocelyn gave Danny a look and said, "Neither one of us was here," so Danny knew to just walk away. They didn't realize that Rocco had made a friend and drank, so he was passed out in an isolated area. At Lulu's place, Dan pointed out that the incident with Drew had gotten Lulu some offers, so maybe you don't have to write about the adoption thing. Dante asked her to drop the story for him. Lulu refused. No, I'm a journalist, and I'm not going to let Brooklyn dictate who or what I write about, Lulu said, before wondering if Chase had asked Dante to talk to her. Dante said that he did because Brooklyn was hurt by the article, whether Dante felt it was justified or not. Why can't you just entertain the thought of using another idea? He asked. Dante pointed out that Chase and Brooklyn were struggling with infertility the same way that he and Lulu had all those years ago. After an impassioned plea from Dante, Lulu seemed moved, but she wasn't going to drop the story. Dante said he knew this was all about the fact that Dante and Brooklyn had a teenage fling. Because you're still in love with me, he said, shocking Lulu. Lulu tried to play it cool. I mean, I'll always love you. We have a child together, she said. Finally, she admitted she was still in love with Dante, who told him that Maxie filled him in on what Lulu planned to say right before she fell into a coma. Dante thought she had moved on with Dustin. I didn't mean to fall in love with Sam. It just happened. Are you saying I should have waited for you? He asked. Lulu felt that Dante had to move on. As hard as it is for me to imagine you moving on without me, I'm truly glad that Sam was there for you and Rocco, she said. She admitted she wasn't jealous of Brooklyn. She was jealous of Sam, who had saved her life. Lulu wondered if she was a horrible person, but Dante told her she wasn't. But he wouldn't pretend he wasn't in love with Sam. A powerful shift is underway in General Hospital, as recent developments push the series into its most intense narrative yet. In a deeply revealing episode of the State of Mind podcast, Cameron Matheson, who plays Drew Kane, opened up about his personal struggles in a heartfelt conversation with Maurice Benard. Matheson's candid reflections unveiled emotional and physical challenges he has faced privately throughout his career, giving fans a deeper understanding of the man behind the character. Maurice Benard, both host and co-star, created a safe and intimate environment, allowing Matheson to delve into personal matters far beyond his role on screen. This vulnerable moment had a significant emotional impact, not only on Benard himself, who admitted the episode moved him to tears, but also on fans who witnessed a rare side of the actor. This conversation underscored the importance of mental health and the real-life pressures faced by public figures, transforming the podcast episode into a therapeutic experience for both its guest and listeners. Parallel to this real-world revelation, General Hospital's on-screen narrative is reaching a climactic point. A shocking turn of events has placed Drew Kane in direct conflict with Sonny Corinthos, suggesting that Drew may be responsible for Sonny's death. This plot twist is poised to redefine the show's direction, dismantling relationships and upending the hierarchy within Port Charles. If Drew indeed kills Sonny, the consequences will reverberate through every corner of the show. The Corinthos family, especially Jason, Carly, and Michael, will be thrown into emotional and strategic turmoil. Jason's loyalty to Sonny all but guarantees a vengeful confrontation with Drew. Carly and Michael, equally devastated, will likely lead a retaliatory campaign, triggering a multifaceted war that blends family loyalty with deep-seated betrayal. Michael's return to Port Charles adds another layer of complexity. No longer the absent son, he emerges as a powerful successor poised to take control in the wake of Sonny's death. Michael's entrance signals a new strategy and leadership style, modern, calculated, and unforgiving. His leadership clashes not only with Drew's faltering influence, but also with the long-established criminal order once maintained by Sonny and Jason. Drew's fall from grace is rapid and destructive. Once a symbol of strength and integrity, he now finds himself isolated and branded a traitor. His plans to stabilize his position in the underworld are collapsing as alliances break down and former allies turn into adversaries. The exposure of his involvement in Sonny's death initiates a chain reaction of betrayals and rivalries, shaking the very foundations of Port Charles. What follows is not merely a storyline of revenge, it's a reconfiguration of power dynamics. The Corinthos legacy, long protected by Sonny and Jason, is now under threat. Drew's attempts to defend Sonny's legacy evolve into aggressive maneuvers that escalate tensions even further. As new enemies rise and old ones resurface, Drew is forced into survival mode, navigating a world spiraling out of control. The conflict is no longer just external. Drew must reconcile his own sense of identity, honor, and guilt. His choices now carry irreversible consequences, not only for himself, but for every major figure in the show. Once respected, Drew is now at the epicenter of betrayal and chaos, a symbol of how quickly trust can unravel in the world of General Hospital. The aftermath of Sonny's confirmed death sends shockwaves through the narrative, marking not just the end of a character, but the end of an era. His demise destabilizes the criminal order, fuels inter-family feuds, and creates a power vacuum that every major player is scrambling to fill. With Michael emerging as a key decision-maker and Drew fighting both internal and external wars, Port Charles is on the brink of complete transformation. As General Hospital enters this turbulent new chapter, the core themes shift from loyalty and family to betrayal and survival. Viewers are witnessing a total restructuring of relationships, motives, and allegiances. With every episode, the stakes rise, and the characters are forced to confront their darkest impulses. In this evolving landscape, one question remains: can Drew find redemption, or has he crossed the point of no return? His path forward will determine not just his fate, but the fate of Port Charles itself, as the legacy of Sonny Corinthos hangs in the balance. In a recent emotionally charged storyline on General Hospital, Jason Morgan's typically stoic exterior shatters under the weight of compounding personal tragedies and escalating family tensions. This pivotal arc explores the psychological unraveling of a man known for his composure, culminating in a regrettable act of violence that threatens to destroy his relationship with his son Danny. The crisis begins during a seemingly innocent campfire gathering where Danny, attempting to assert his independence, convinces Rocco Falconeri to drink alcohol. The situation escalates when Rocco suffers alcohol poisoning and collapses. Jason, already burdened by grief and trauma, reacts with fury upon learning of the incident. The confrontation between father and son spirals quickly. Danny refuses to apologize, asserting his autonomy. In a moment of unchecked rage, Jason strikes Danny, an action that immediately reverberates with remorse and emotional devastation. Haunted by his outburst, Jason's guilt deepens when Danny disappears, shutting off all communication. Jason initiates a desperate search, first through informal channels, then via the Port Charles Police Department. Despite extensive efforts, Danny remains missing, intensifying Jason's panic and self-blame. Known for his emotional restraint, Jason begins to unravel as he faces the consequences of his actions. Sasha Gilmore emerges as a key emotional support for Jason during this turbulent period. Her empathy and encouragement offer him a brief respite from the relentless self-reproach. Sasha's belief in Danny's resilience becomes a cornerstone for Jason's fading hope. Simultaneously, Jason confronts deeper truths, recognizing how emotional neglect and high expectations may have contributed to Danny's rebellion. The broader Port Charles community rallies around Jason, including Sonny Corinthos, who, despite recovering from a recent attempt on his life, reassures Jason of his enduring support. Sonny's perspective, that even good parents make mistakes, gives Jason permission to seek redemption. As the days pass without word from Danny, Jason undergoes a profound internal reckoning. He acknowledges the emotional disconnect in their relationship and commits to repairing it. This marks a transformative moment. Jason vows to prioritize emotional openness and rebuild trust, shifting away from the rigid protectiveness that previously defined his parenting. The search for Danny continues amid growing tension and uncertainty. Still, Jason remains resolute. With support from Sasha, Sonny, and the community, he dedicates himself to mending the damage, driven by love, remorse, and an unwavering hope that his son will return, ready to begin the healing process. This emotionally complex storyline lays bare the vulnerabilities of a father pushed beyond his limits, offering a raw examination of grief, accountability, and the power of reconciliation. The question now lingers: will Danny find his way back, and can Jason transform this moment of pain into an opportunity for growth and renewed connection? This week on General Hospital, Port Charles is engulfed in intrigue as Jocelyn Jacks steps into a clandestine world of espionage, deception, and conflicted loyalties. Her induction into the World Security Bureau, under the guidance of Agent Jack Brennan, sets off a dramatic chain of events that could jeopardize her most personal relationships, particularly with her mother, Carly Corinthos. Jocelyn's choice to become an undercover agent stems from a deep inner conflict, ultimately resolved through long nights of contemplation and a growing desire to fight for justice. Her covert mission begins at Port Charles University, where she infiltrates the academic circle of Professor Henry Dalton, a man suspected of criminal ties masked behind intellectual prestige. But deception comes at a high cost. As part of her double life, Jocelyn is forced to keep her affiliation secret from Carly, causing an emotional divide. Carly's instincts pick up on Jocelyn's evasive behavior during their interactions, particularly as Jocelyn grows more guarded and cryptic. The emotional toll is profound as Jocelyn wrestles with guilt and the ever-present fear of exposure. Meanwhile, Jocelyn's cover is further strained by her budding friendship with Emma Scorpio Drake. Originally rivals vying for a coveted spot on Dalton's research team, the two begin to bond over late-night study sessions and shared ambition. However, their relationship is threatened when Jocelyn sabotages Emma by swapping a critical thumb drive, an act that triggers a chain reaction of suspicion and betrayal. The competition for Dalton's attention escalates, both academically and possibly romantically, fueled by his enigmatic persona and rumored illegal activities. Jocelyn's intelligence-gathering advantages come with the burden of manipulating her friend and maintaining a facade that grows heavier by the day. As the mission intensifies, Jocelyn teeters on the edge of confession. Scenes hint at her nearly revealing her secret to Emma during a quiet, emotional moment on campus. Yet Brennan's warnings about the global implications of disclosure loom large, forcing Jocelyn to weigh friendship against duty. Rumors swirling through Port Charles suggest she may slip, a mistake that could unravel both her mission and personal connections. Beyond Jocelyn's arc, the week of May 5 to 9 delivers a cascade of developments across town. Cody Bell risks his life intervening in a violent encounter in the woods, while Nina Reeves' manipulations collapse under unexpected scrutiny. Carly provides comfort to Lulu Spencer, and Alexis Davis faces legal and personal reckonings at the courthouse. Drew Kane uncovers critical evidence tied to his drug test results, triggering a covert meeting with Max Scorpio. Elsewhere, familial tensions flare as Dante Falconeri contemplates a devastating secret about Brooklyn Chase, while Kristina Corinthos Davis and Lucky Spencer navigate emotional landmines rooted in family dysfunction. Brooklyn Chase is rattled by overheard secrets, and Jason Morgan delivers stern guidance to the younger generation following a reckless beach incident involving Danny and Rocco. As the week progresses, emotional gestures attempt to mend broken bonds, with Kristina offering a heartfelt reconciliation to Alexis. Jocelyn continues to grapple with her undercover duties, while deepening her alliance with Brennan in preparation for a decisive strike against Dalton. By Friday, confrontations erupt at the Port Charles Farmers Market, secrets surface in Ned Quartermain's mansion, and Jen Sidwell's cryptic offer to Deception Cosmetics hints at corporate upheaval. The week ends on a cliffhanger of strained alliances, unspoken truths, and looming consequences. General Hospital delivers another tightly woven narrative of espionage, loyalty, and moral dilemma. Jocelyn's path as a covert operative illustrates the emotional weight of secrecy as relationships bend under pressure and the truth threatens to escape the shadows. In the latest whirlwind of events in General Hospital, the fragile calm in Port Charles is shattered by TJ's unexpected return, accompanied by a toddler with unmistakable ties to Molly. What began as whispers about Molly and Cody's questionable fake romance quickly escalated into a full-blown crisis, drawing concern and suspicion from Alexis and Kristina. Initially dismissing the bond between Molly and Cody as mere fabrication, both women soon noticed emotional cues and secretive behavior that suggested otherwise. Kristina's discovery of Molly and Cody in an intimate moment ignited a deeper investigation. It soon emerged that Molly herself had orchestrated the fake dating scheme as a strategic move to reshape her image at work, an idea Alexis found wildly uncharacteristic and dangerous. As tensions mounted, a viral photo of Molly and Cody kissing confirmed suspicions. Their relationship had become real. Just as the family contemplated a direct intervention, TJ returned with a child, his and Molly's biological son, the result of a previously failed IVF attempt. A devastating lab error had led to the embryo's implantation in another woman who had since passed away. The arrival of the child exposed painful emotional undercurrents. Molly was stunned, TJ heartbroken and enraged. He accused Molly of betrayal, particularly in light of her deepening relationship with Cody. The emotional standoff escalated when Cody unknowingly walked into Alexis's home with flowers, only to be met with TJ's fury. A physical confrontation was narrowly avoided, but TJ soon declared his intent to seek full custody of the child. Despite the turmoil, both TJ and Molly recognized their responsibility to co-parent, setting aside animosity to focus on the child's welfare. Meanwhile, Cody found himself the target of a relentless public smear campaign. Once respected in the community, he was now shunned, fired from his job, and evicted, all while social media and local media painted him as morally unfit. Though he suspected TJ at first, an ominous encounter with a stranger revealed a deeper conspiracy. The powerful Corinthos family was allegedly behind the scenes, manipulating events to secure a traditional family setup for Molly and TJ's child. According to the source, Cody's removal was strategic. He didn't fit into the narrative Sonny Corinthos had in mind. The revelation shook Cody to his core. With every effort to reach Molly being blocked and his social ties in Port Charles severed, Cody began to question the authenticity of Molly's love and the depth of the forces working against him. As TJ adjusts to fatherhood and Molly faces emotional conflict between her past and present, the future remains uncertain. Cody, isolated and disillusioned, must decide whether to fight against an invisible power structure or leave behind the woman he once believed loved him. The dramatic poisoning incident involving Rocco Falconeri during a university camping trip has taken a dark and complex turn. What initially appeared to be a case of reckless teenage drinking is now confirmed as a deliberate poisoning, triggering a full-scale investigation in General Hospital. Toxicology reports have revealed that Rocco ingested a rare and dangerous compound not typically found in alcohol, leading authorities to conclude that the substance was intentionally introduced into his drink. The scope of the incident has since evolved into a layered mystery involving multiple suspects, covert motives, and potential ties to the shadow organization known as DVX. Rocco's sudden collapse led to early assumptions of underage drinking, but medical findings quickly disproved this theory. As Dante Falconeri rushed to the scene, his suspicions intensified, especially when Dady Morgan emerged as a key witness and potential suspect. Danny had reportedly encouraged Rocco to take a drink from a shared bottle brought in by students. Although Danny denied any malicious intent, the timeline and his proximity to Rocco raised red flags. Adding complexity, Gio Palmieri had invited Danny to the event, and Rocco attended at Danny's request. The drink, seemingly harmless, originated from an unattended cooler, accessible by several people, including Lois, who helped organize the event. As Dante pieced together the sequence, Gio invited Danny, who brought Rocco, who then drank and collapsed. The narrative shifted from accident to premeditated act. Dante's suspicions circled Lois, especially given her motivations to protect Gio's true paternity, a secret known to Rocco and Danny. If Lois feared that Rocco might reveal this information, it's conceivable she could have acted to prevent exposure. Though Lois denied involvement, her proximity and access to the setup increased scrutiny. Lulu Spencer added another layer to the investigation by referencing DVX. Her conversation with Emma Drake, who recently returned to Port Charles under suspicious circumstances, hinted at broader implications. Emma's rumored past with DVX fueled speculation that the attack could be part of a larger psychological operation targeting families linked to intelligence organizations like the WSB. Further developments emerged from a janitor's eyewitness report. He described a red-haired woman near the backstage area pouring something into a bottle, an act not attributed to any known suspects. This mysterious figure raised the possibility of third-party involvement. Speculation turned toward Kristina, a woman with a history of drug-related activities in Port Charles, including her involvement in the ketamine scandal. Although her motive remained unclear, her reputation for working on behalf of others made her a potential hired agent in the poisoning scheme. Dante later uncovered partial surveillance footage showing a woman matching Kristina's description entering the backstage area. Though inconclusive, this discovery opened the door to the theory that Rocco's poisoning was not a personal attack, but a professionally executed mission. As suspicion grew, Emma Drake acknowledged that DVX might be behind the incident and warned that the poisoning could be the beginning of a larger operation. Her cryptic remarks suggested that the attack might have been a test run or diversion. The investigation took a pivotal turn when Rocco regained consciousness. He confirmed that Danny gave him the drink, but insisted there was no intent to harm. Rocco also recalled seeing a red-haired woman near the tent, possibly Kristina or Lois in disguise. This testimony reinvigorated efforts to determine the source of the poison. A key breakthrough occurred when a student confessed to overhearing a chilling phone call. "Make sure the Morgan kid gets the bottle. The other one is just a bonus." This revelation clarified the true target, Danny Morgan, not Rocco. The motive became clear when it surfaced that Danny had unintentionally accessed sensitive DVX-linked files during a personal coding project. This breach flagged him as a threat to the covert organization, prompting a retaliatory action designed to eliminate him without drawing attention. With the realization that Rocco was merely collateral damage, the investigation's entire foundation shifted. Suspicions aimed at family members, including Lois and Emma, were recontextualized, and the focus turned toward DVX's strategic targeting of individuals with intelligence connections. As the investigation deepens, Dante finds himself navigating a volatile web of deception, loyalty, and high-stakes conspiracy. The poisoning of Rocco Falconeri is no longer a local mystery, it's a calculated move in a much larger game. With DVX pulling the strings and Danny unwittingly caught in the crossfire, Port Charles faces a looming threat that could jeopardize not just families, but national security.